Listen carefully, because what I'm about to say may feel unbelievable at first, but don't skip a second. Something unusual is happening right now, and somehow you've been pulled into it. My dear brother, my dear sister in faith, if you've been tired of stressing over money, counting every expense, and wondering how you'll make it through, then stay with me. Just 2 days ago, a man named David from Chicago shared something shocking. Within just 24 hours of hearing a message like this, money appeared in his account, unexpected, unplanned. The very next day, Linda said her small online store, which had been quiet for months, suddenly sold out. And this morning, Sam received a high-paying client he had been chasing for a long time. But here's the part that will make you pause. Their breakthrough began before they even finished listening. So ask yourself, why are you here right now? This is not luck. This is not random. Something guided you here at this exact moment, because a shift, a real shift, is already happening. And you are standing right in the middle of it. Right now, I want you to do something simple but powerful. Take a breath and in your heart say, I receive what is meant for me. Because this moment is not passive. Your attention matters. Your focus matters. Your belief matters. Maybe you're unsure. Maybe you've hoped before and nothing changed. Maybe you prayed and felt like no one was listening. That's okay. But hear this clearly. Your situation was never because you weren't trying hard enough. You were being prepared. Think of a seed planted deep in the soil. For a long time, nothing shows on the surface. It looks empty. It looks still. But underneath, something is growing. Something is building strength. That's been your life. Now close your eyes for a second. Imagine a door in front of you. Not an ordinary door. This one has your name on it. It doesn't lead to a bank or a place you know. It leads to something far greater. And right now, that door is opening. Not slowly, not gently. It's being pushed open with force. Because something has already been set in motion. At this very moment, things you cannot see are shifting. Paths are being cleared. Opportunities are being arranged. It's like a quiet system suddenly coming alive just for you. What once felt blocked is now opening. This is not just hope. This is alignment. And as you listen, something deeper is happening. Your mind is starting to change. Your belief is adjusting. It's like tuning a radio that was once stuck on struggle and slowly moving it toward a new frequency, one of ease, flow, and provision. Stay with me, because this part matters. Your focus right now is not just listening. It is agreement. It is acceptance. It is the moment you stop resisting what could already be on its way. Every delay, every missed chance, every closed door, it wasn't the end. It was positioning. Like pieces on a chessboard, everything has been moving to bring you here. And right now, the shift has started. It may feel small at first, like the sky just before sunrise, still dim, but quietly changing. You don't see the sun yet, but you know it's coming. That's where you are. Something has already begun. Opportunities will start to find you. Ideas will come to you. The right people will cross your path. Things that felt far away will begin to move closer, not because of luck, but because something inside you has changed. So don't doubt this moment. Don't push it away. Instead, receive it. Let go of the pressure. Let go of the fear. Let go of the old story that says things never work out for you. Because that story is ending. And a new one has already started. Your season of struggle was never permanent. It was the hidden phase, the growing phase. And now something is rising. Something is opening. Something is coming toward you. And this time, it won't miss you. There is a realm beyond what your eyes can see, beyond what your hands can touch, where provision already exists before it ever appears in your physical reality. Most people live their entire lives reacting only to what is visible. They look at their bank account, their circumstances, their limitations, and they allow those things to define what they believe is possible. But true faith does not operate like that. True faith begins where visibility ends. When you activate faith, You are stepping into a higher dimension of thinking and believing. You are no longer waiting for proof before you trust. Instead, you trust first and then the proof follows. This is where many people struggle, because the natural mind always wants evidence. It wants confirmation. It wants to see something before it dares to believe it. But the spiritual principle works in the opposite direction. You must believe it before you ever see it. Think about it for a moment. Every great breakthrough, every major success, every transformation that has ever happened in someone's life started as something unseen. It started as a thought, an idea, a belief. Before it became real in the world, it existed internally. Faith is what gives that unseen reality substance. It is what begins to pull it from the invisible into the visible. When you pray with faith, you are not begging or hoping that something might happen someday. You are aligning yourself with something that already exists in the unseen realm. Provision is not something that needs to be created from nothing. It is already prepared. Opportunities are already set. Doors are already positioned, but they remain invisible until faith activates them. This is why two people can be in the exact same situation, yet experience completely different outcomes. One sees lack, limitation, and impossibility. The other sees potential, opportunity, and coming breakthrough. The difference is not in their environment. The difference is in their faith. One is reacting to what is visible. The other is responding to what is invisible. Faith is not blind optimism. It is a deep inner knowing. It is the ability to stand in the middle of uncertainty and still say, something greater is already working in my favor. Even when there is no sign, no evidence, no immediate change, faith remains steady. It does not fluctuate based on circumstances. It is anchored in certainty. And here is where the shift begins to happen. When your faith becomes strong enough, it starts to influence your thoughts, your words, and your actions. You begin to speak differently. Instead of saying, I don't have enough, you begin to say, provision is coming to me. Instead of focusing on what is missing, you focus on what is being prepared. Your mindset shifts from scarcity to expectation. This shift is powerful because your words carry creative force. When they are backed by faith, they begin to shape your reality. You are no longer reinforcing limitation. You are declaring possibility. And over time, those declarations begin to manifest in ways that may seem unexpected. But it does not happen instantly. And this is where many people give up. They pray once, maybe twice, and when they do not see immediate results, they assume nothing is happening. What they fail to understand is that faith is working even when there is no visible movement. Just because you cannot see it does not mean it is not unfolding. Seeds do not grow overnight. They develop beneath the surface first. In the same way, when you activate faith, something begins to move in the unseen. Connections are being formed. Opportunities are aligning. Circumstances are shifting quietly. And at the right time, it begins to appear in your visible world. So the question is not whether provision exists. It does. The real question is whether you are willing to believe in it before you see it. Are you willing to hold on to faith when everything around you suggests otherwise? Are you willing to trust the unseen process? Because the moment you do, everything begins to change. Your energy changes. Your focus changes. Your expectations rise. And suddenly, you start noticing things you never noticed before. Opportunities that were always there become visible. Doors that seemed closed begin to open. What once felt impossible starts to feel inevitable. Faith is the bridge between where you are and where you want to be. It connects your present reality to a future that is already prepared. And when you walk on that bridge with confidence, without hesitation, you begin to experience something extraordinary. You stop chasing provision, and provision starts finding you. There is a power in your words that many people underestimate. Every time you speak, you are not just expressing thoughts, you are shaping direction. Your words carry weight, and when they are spoken through prayer, they begin to influence the course of your life in ways you may not immediately see. This is especially true when it comes to your financial reality. Most people speak about money from a place of frustration or fear. They say things like, I never have enough, or money is always hard to get, or nothing is working for me. What they don't realize is that these words are not harmless. Over time they become a pattern, and that pattern begins to define their experience. When negative words are repeated often enough, they reinforce limitation. They create a mindset that expects lack, and eventually that expectation becomes reality. Prayer changes this pattern, but only when it is done with intention and awareness. Prayer is not meant to be passive or uncertain. It is not about speaking empty words and hoping something might change. True prayer is deliberate. It is focused. It is filled with belief. When you pray, you are setting a direction for your life with your words. Think of your words as seeds. Every sentence you speak plants something. If your words are filled with doubt, fear, and limitation, then those are the seeds you are planting. But if your words are filled with faith, clarity, and expectation, then you are planting something entirely different. Over time, those seeds grow. They begin to influence your thinking, your decisions, and even the opportunities that come into your life. This is why the way you speak in prayer matters so much. Instead of focusing on what you lack, you begin to declare what is coming. Instead of repeating your problems, you start affirming solutions. You shift from saying, I need money, to saying, provision is flowing into my life. That may seem like a small change, but it creates a completely different internal response. When your words align with belief, something powerful happens. Your mind begins to accept those words as truth. And once your mind accepts something as truth, it starts to look for ways to support it. You begin to notice opportunities you might have ignored before. You start to think more creatively. You become more open to taking action. In this way, your words are not just influencing your thoughts, they are influencing your behavior. But there is another level to this. Words spoken in prayer do more than shape your internal world. They also position you to receive. When you consistently declare abundance, favor, and opportunity, you are training yourself to expect those things. And expectation is powerful. It changes how you carry yourself. It changes how you respond to situations. It even changes how others perceive you. People who expect good things tend to recognize opportunities faster. They move with confidence. They are not held back by constant doubt. This is not coincidence. It is the result of what they have been speaking and believing over time. However, consistency is key. One positive prayer cannot override years of negative thinking. You have to be intentional about your words every day. You have to guard what you say, especially in moments of pressure. It is easy to speak faith when things are going well. The real test comes when things are uncertain. In those moments, your words reveal what you truly believe. If you can continue to speak with clarity and confidence even when there is no visible change, you begin to build something strong within you. Your faith becomes stable, your mindset becomes disciplined, and over time your external reality begins to reflect that internal shift. It is also important to understand that your words should be specific. Vague prayers often lead to vague results. When you speak, be clear about what you are expecting. Speak as if it is already being arranged. Speak as if the process is already in motion. This level of clarity sharpens your focus and strengthens your belief. There is a difference between saying, I hope things get better, and saying, new opportunities are opening for me, and I am ready to receive them. The second statement carries direction. It carries intention. It moves you forward. Your financial destiny is not only shaped by external factors. It is also shaped by what you consistently declare. Every word you speak in prayer is either building limitation or building possibility. There is no neutral ground. So choose your words carefully. Speak with purpose. Speak with belief. Speak with expectation. Because over time, your words will not just describe your life, they will define it. There is something deeply transformative about gratitude when it is combined with expectation. Most people separate these two. They wait to feel grateful until something good happens, and they hesitate to expect more because they fear disappointment. But when gratitude and expectation come together, they create a powerful state that opens the door for abundance to flow more freely into your life. Gratitude shifts your focus. Instead of constantly noticing what is missing, you begin to recognize what is already present, even if it feels small, even if it seems insignificant. The moment you acknowledge it with sincerity, something changes within you. Your perspective begins to expand. You move from a mindset of lack to a mindset of appreciation. And this shift is not just emotional, it is foundational. When you consistently practice gratitude, you are training your mind to see value. You begin to notice opportunities, connections, and resources that were always there but went unseen. Many people struggle financially, not only because of external limitations, but because they have conditioned themselves to overlook what they already have. Gratitude corrects that blindness. It sharpens your awareness. But gratitude alone is not enough. If you only appreciate what you have without expecting more, you can become comfortable in your current state. This is where expectation comes in. Expectation is what pulls you forward. It is the quiet confidence that something greater is on its way, even if you cannot yet see it. When you combine gratitude with expectation, you create a balance that is incredibly powerful. You are thankful for what is already in your life, but you are also open and ready for what is coming next. You are not desperate, and you are not stagnant. You are aligned. This alignment changes how you approach everything. When you pray, your tone shifts. Instead of asking from a place of need, you begin to speak from a place of trust. You say, I am grateful for what I have, and I am ready for more. That simple shift removes pressure and replaces it with confidence. People who live in this state tend to attract better outcomes, not because of luck, but because of how they think and act. Gratitude keeps them grounded and positive. Expectation keeps them alert and proactive. They are more likely to take action when opportunities appear because they are already anticipating them. They are not caught off guard by success. They are prepared for it. There is also an emotional stability that comes with this combination. Life does not always move in a straight line. There will be delays, challenges, and moments of uncertainty. If your mindset is based only on results, you will feel discouraged every time something does not go as planned. But when you are rooted in gratitude, you remain steady. And when you carry expectation, you remain hopeful. This stability is important because it allows you to stay consistent. Many people start with enthusiasm but lose momentum when they do not see immediate results. Gratitude keeps you connected to the present, and expectation keeps you committed to the future. Together, they help you stay on course. It is also worth noting that gratitude changes how you interact with others. When you appreciate what you have, you naturally become more positive, more patient, and more open. This affects your relationships, your communication, and even your reputation. People are drawn to those who carry a sense of appreciation and quiet confidence. And in many cases, opportunities come through people. Expectation, on the other hand, influences how you carry yourself. It shows in your posture, your tone, your decisions. When you expect good things, you are less likely to settle for less. You make choices that align with growth rather than fear. You step into situations with a sense of readiness instead of hesitation. Over time, this combination begins to shape your environment. You start to notice that things are aligning more smoothly. Conversations lead to new ideas. Small steps lead to bigger results. What once felt difficult begins to feel more natural. This is not about forcing outcomes or pretending everything is perfect. It is about positioning yourself in a way that allows good things to enter your life more easily. Gratitude opens your awareness. Expectation opens your future. So begin where you are. Take a moment each day to acknowledge what is already working in your life. Speak it out loud if you can. Feel it genuinely. Then, without hesitation, allow yourself to expect more. Not with pressure, but with quiet confidence. Because when you live in that space, grateful for what is and ready for what is coming, you create an environment where abundance feels natural, not distant. Consistency is where belief becomes real. Many people have moments of faith. They feel inspired. They pray with conviction. They speak positive words. And for a short time, everything inside them aligns. But then something happens. A delay, a setback, an unexpected challenge. And suddenly that belief begins to weaken. Doubt quietly returns. And with it, the old patterns of thinking. This is why consistency matters more than intensity. It is not what you do once that shapes your life. It is what you repeat daily, especially when you don't feel like it. When you stay consistent in your belief, something begins to stabilize within you. Your mindset becomes less reactive. You are no longer controlled by temporary circumstances. Instead of rising and falling with every situation, you develop a steady inner confidence. And that stability is what allows small breakthroughs to grow into something much bigger. Think about how progress actually works. It rarely happens all at once. Most of the time it starts with something small, an idea, a connection, a minor opportunity. At first, it may not look like much. In fact, many people overlook it because it doesn't match their expectations of a big breakthrough. But those small moments are often the beginning of something greater. The problem is, without consistency in belief, people dismiss these early signs. They lose focus, they become impatient, and they stop nurturing what has started. As a result, what could have grown into something significant fades away. Consistency changes that. When you remain steady in your faith and your expectations, you begin to recognize the value in small progress. You treat it with importance, you act on it, you give it attention, and over time, it develops. This is how momentum is built. One small step leads to another. One opportunity opens the door to the next. What once seemed minor begins to expand. But this only happens when you stay engaged and committed. There is also a mental discipline involved in consistency. It requires you to guard your thoughts. Doubt will come. It always does. Negative situations will appear. But consistency means you do not allow those moments to define your belief. You acknowledge them, but you do not settle in them. Instead, you return to your focus. You remind yourself of what you are working toward. You continue to speak with clarity and confidence, even when it feels repetitive. And this repetition is not meaningless. It is reinforcement. It strengthens your mindset. It deepens your belief. Over time, this creates a powerful internal environment. You become less dependent on external validation. You do not need constant proof to keep going. Your belief becomes self-sustaining. And when your belief reaches that level, your actions become more aligned and more consistent as well. This alignment is important because belief alone is not enough. It must be supported by action. When you consistently believe in growth and opportunity, you are more likely to take steps in that direction. You make decisions that support your vision. You follow through on ideas. You stay open to learning and improving. This is where small breakthroughs begin to multiply. Each action creates a result, and each result creates a new opportunity. It becomes a cycle of progress. But without consistency, that cycle is easily broken. Another important aspect of consistency is patience. Growth takes time. Results do not always appear as quickly as you expect. If you measure your progress only by immediate outcomes, you will feel discouraged. But if you focus on staying consistent, you shift your attention from short-term results to long-term development. This mindset allows you to keep moving forward, even when progress feels slow. And often, just when it seems like nothing is happening, everything begins to change. The efforts you have been making start to connect. The small steps you have taken begin to add up. And what once felt distant suddenly becomes real. Consistency also builds trust within yourself. Every time you follow through on your belief, you reinforce your own reliability. You prove to yourself that you can stay committed, and that self-trust is powerful. It gives you the confidence to aim higher and go further. In the end, massive results are not created in a single moment. They are the result of repeated belief, repeated action, and repeated focus over time. What starts small does not stay small when it is nurtured consistently. So stay steady, even when it feels slow, even when it feels uncertain. Keep going, because every consistent step you take is building something larger than you can see right now.